In 2001, Emma Miller left home for school and was never seen again. 22 years later, real estate developers demolishing an old house found a box in the basement. Inside was a diary written in Emma's own handwriting, and the final entry told a story completely different from what everyone believed. But what Emma wrote in her diary was a truth no one expected. After reading the final entry in the diary, you'll understand why police had been searching in the wrong place for 22 years. But the most shocking part of what Emma wrote is yet to come. Everything changes from this point, because Emma's final message suggests she might still be alive. In 2001, Emma Miller left home for school and was never seen again. 22 years later, real estate developers demolishing an old house found a box in the basement. Inside was a diary written in Emma's own handwriting, and the final entry told a story completely different from what everyone believed. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button to help these missing stories come to light. Every like helps ensure that no name stays forgotten. October 15th, 2001. Monday morning. Just another ordinary day beginning on Maple Street in Springfield, Illinois. Emma Miller was 9 years old, brown-haired, green-eyed, always smiling. That morning she said, "See you later," to her mother, Sarah Miller, shouldered her pink backpack, and started walking to school. The distance to school was only 6 blocks. Emma had walked this route hundreds of times. But that morning, she never reached school. At 9:15 a.m., the school secretary called Sarah Miller. "Emma didn't come in today. Is she sick?" Sarah's heart stopped. Emma had left home. She wasn't sick. She should have been at school. Sarah immediately jumped in her car and followed Emma's route to school. From Maple Street to Main Street, then to the school path. No trace, no clue. It was as if Emma had vanished into thin air. At 10:30 a.m., police were called. When Detective Marcus Webb took the case, only 1 hour had passed since Emma's disappearance. "The first 24 hours are critical," he kept saying, "in child abduction cases, if they're not found within the first 24 hours. But the search for Emma became one of Springfield's largest missing child operations in history. 200 volunteers, 3 search dogs, helicopters, drones. Everyone was looking for Emma. But what Emma wrote in her diary was a truth no one expected. On the day Emma disappeared, nothing unusual had been observed in the neighborhood. Neighbors were going about their normal activities. Children were going to school. Everyone was focused on their daily routines. Police began going door to door along Emma's route to school. Margaret Stone, an elderly woman at 1247 Main Street, said, "I used to watch the little girl from my window every morning. She was such a sweet child. But I didn't see her that morning. There was one interesting detail. About 10 minutes after Emma left home, a blue pickup truck rarely seen in the neighborhood had been spotted. The license plate couldn't be clearly seen, but the truck had a scratch on the rear window. This clue was investigated for weeks, but led nowhere. Emma's diary found in her room was also examined. It contained quite mature writing for a 9-year-old. The last entry was from the night before she disappeared. "I don't want to go to school tomorrow. I saw a strange man in my dream. He was following me. I hope it was just a nightmare." Detective Webb, seeing this entry, thought he had found a clue that someone was stalking Emma. But who? And why? Sarah Miller spent days on television pleading, "Please bring my Emma back. She's just a 9-year-old child. Whoever needs her, please just send her home." After reading the final entry in the diary, you'll understand why police had been searching in the wrong place for 22 years. Weeks turned to months, months to years. The Emma Miller case became unforgettable in Springfield, but active investigations gradually stopped. Detective Webb retired. The case file was archived. Every year on Emma's birthday, Sarah Miller would buy a cake, remembering that moment when she was frozen at 9 years old. "If she's still alive, she'd be 31 now," she would whisper, but she couldn't even convince herself anymore. In 2015, Emma's father, David Miller, had a heart attack. His last words were, "Did you find Emma?" No, they hadn't. As time passed in Springfield, new generations grew up. The Emma Miller case became an urban legend. Some claimed to see her on the school route. Others believed her spirit still wandered those streets. But something interesting happened in 2020. A student studying criminology at Springfield University chose the Emma Miller case as her graduation project. Jessica Torres began examining all the case files. A detail Jessica found was noteworthy. On the morning Emma disappeared, 8-year-old Michael Thompson, living on the other side of town, had also disappeared while returning home from school. Had a connection been made between the two cases? Number 2 children disappearing on the same day cannot be a coincidence, Jessica said. But the police didn't pay much attention to her. The Emma case was considered closed. In March 2023, a major renovation project began in Springfield's old industrial district. Old factories were to be demolished and replaced with modern housing. When workers from Demolition Brothers began demolishing an old house from the 1950s, they discovered something unusual in the basement. Behind the basement wall was a hidden room. Site foreman Tony Ricci says, "I've been doing this job for 30 years, but I've never seen anything like this." It was as if someone had deliberately hidden that room. The hidden room was quite small, about 3 by 3 meters. Inside were an old bed, some children's books, and a metal box. When the box was opened, a diary emerged. On the diary's cover, written in a child's handwriting, "Emma's diary, nobody can read." Tony Ricci immediately called the police. After 22 years, the Emma Miller case was reopening. But the most shocking part of what Emma wrote is yet to come. When the diary was brought to Springfield Police Station, the entire department stood up. Detective Webb was retired, but was specially called in. Sarah Miller was notified. The first entries in the diary began from the day Emma disappeared. October 16th, 2001. First day. "I'm very scared to be here. The man stopped me on the school route and said I was lost. He said he called my mom, that she wanted him to look for me. But when I got in the car, he didn't take me home. He brought me here." The diary continued. October 17th, 2001. Second day. "The man says his name is Mr. Johnson. He treats me well, but I want to go home. He tells me I can't go home because my family doesn't love me. But that's not true. My family loves me." With each entry, Emma's situation worsened. October 25th, 2001. 10th day. "Mr. Johnson told me the truth today. My family abandoned me. Nobody is looking for me. The police have stopped searching too, but I don't believe it. Mom loves me, Dad too. I'm going to try to escape from here." November 15th, 2001, 31st day. "I tried to escape, but Mr. Johnson caught me. He punished me. I can't go upstairs anymore. I can only stay here. I'm very scared." The diary entries continued for months. Emma's handwriting gradually changed, becoming more and more childish, as if instead of growing up, she was shrinking. The most shocking part of the diary was what Emma wrote 6 months after being kidnapped. April 10th, 2002. 6 months later, "I saw Michael today. He's being held here like me. I told him that Mr. Johnson took me too. Michael cried a lot. He wants to go home too." Michael, the child Jessica Torres had found in her research, who disappeared the same day as Emma. The diary continued. June 25th, 2002. 9 months later. "Mr. Johnson brought us a teacher. Her name is Miss Sarah. She teaches us reading and writing, but she teaches strange things. She tells us our names aren't Emma and Michael. We have new names. I'm Grace now, and Michael is David." December 30th, 2002. 14 months later. "Miss Sarah is gone. Mr. Johnson punished her because she talked to us too much. Now it's just me and Michael. We tell each other our real names so we won't forget." Everything changes from this point, because Emma's final message suggests she might still be alive. The final part of the diary was written when Emma turned 18, March 12th, 2010, 9 years later. "Michael and I are grown up now. Mr. Johnson is old and has trouble controlling us. We have an escape plan. Michael broke the lock on the upstairs window. We'll escape tomorrow night. March 13th, 2010. Final entry. This may be my last diary entry. If you find this diary, there are things I want you to know. My name is Emma Miller. I disappeared from Springfield. I was 9 years old. Michael Thompson is here too. He's also from Springfield. Mr. Johnson's real name is Harold Whitman. He lives at 1455 Industrial Drive. If you're finding this diary, it means either we succeeded in escaping, or the place where I hid this diary is where Harold kept us if he caught us. But if we escaped, I have a request. Keep looking for us. We're still alive and want to come home. My mom is Sarah Miller. I want her to know I never forgot her, and I'm still waiting to come home. Emma Miller, age 18, March 13th, 2010. When the diary reached police, they began searching for someone named Harold Whitman. Harold Whitman, who would have been 73 in 2010, was determined to have died in 2011. The house at 1455 Industrial Drive was directly across from where Emma was found. But the real question was, had Emma and Michael succeeded in escaping in 2010? If they had, why hadn't they returned to their families? Detective Webb, now 68. Emma's diary proves she was alive until 2010. But what happened after? We're working to find the answer to that question. Springfield police launched a new operation to track Emma Miller and Michael Thompson's post-2010 trail. 2 FBI specialists were brought into the case. Sarah Miller, now 52, broke down in tears when she read the diary, knowing that Emma didn't forget me, receiving a message from her after 22 years. It's an indescribable feeling, but now I know she's alive and I need her. The Emma Miller case continues. 6 months have passed since the diary was found, and new clues continue to emerge. Emma should be 31 years old now. If she's still alive, the search for her and Michael Thompson continues. This story shows us that we should never lose hope. Even after 22 years, missing children can still have a chance to come home. If you have any information about Emma Miller or Michael Thompson, contact the Springfield Police Department. If you follow these kinds of stories, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because behind every missing story is a family, and they have loved ones waiting for them. Emma Miller's story isn't over yet, and hopefully it will soon end happily.